Have you ever felt that overwhelming urge to just vent? To pour out all your troubles to someone, anyone who will listen? It's a natural human instinct. We're wired for connection, and sharing our burdens feels like it should lighten the load. But what if I told you that, in many cases, telling your problems to people is one of the worst things you can do for yourself? I know, it sounds counterintuitive, even a little harsh, but stick with me for a few minutes, because understanding this concept might just change the way you navigate challenges forever. Let's be clear from the start. I'm not talking about seeking professional help from a therapist or a counselor. That is an incredibly powerful and necessary step for many people, and I wholeheartedly support it. I'm also not talking about confiding in a truly trusted, lifelong partner or family member who has proven time and time again that they have your absolute best interests at heart. What I'm talking about is the casual, everyday habit of offloading our problems onto friends, co-workers, and acquaintances. Think about the last time you did this. You were frustrated, maybe sad or anxious. You called a friend or cornered a colleague by the coffee machine and laid it all out. How did you feel afterward? You might have gotten a moment of temporary relief, a fleeting sense of validation. But what happened next? Did the problem go away? Did you feel empowered and ready to tackle it? Or did you just feel exposed? And maybe, just maybe, the problem felt even bigger than before. Here's the first hard truth. Most people don't actually care about your problems. That sounds brutal, but it's not meant to be malicious. Everyone is the main character in their own movie. They are wrapped up in their own struggles, their own deadlines, their own family drama. When you tell them your problems, they might nod sympathetically. They might say, "Oh, that's terrible." But their mind is likely already drifting back to their own to-do list. They're listening, but they're not absorbing. Your crisis is just a temporary scene in their very busy day. They simply don't have the emotional bandwidth to genuinely invest in your issues. So that deep connection you're seeking, you're rarely ever going to find it by just venting. The second reason is even more critical. Telling people your problems gives away your power. When you complain, you are unconsciously adopting the role of a victim. You're framing yourself as someone who things happen to, rather than someone who makes things happen. This mindset is incredibly disempowering. Every time you repeat the story of your struggle, you're reinforcing that narrative in your own mind. You're practicing being helpless. Instead of focusing your mental energy on finding solutions, you're spending it on perfecting the story of your suffering. The more you talk about the problem, the bigger and more insurmountable it seems. You're giving it energy, feeding it, and allowing it to define you. Then there's the issue of advice. Oh, the advice. The moment you share a problem, you open the floodgates for unsolicited opinions. People love to play the hero and offer solutions. The problem is, their advice is based on their life, their experiences, and their values, not yours. They'll tell you to just quit your job without understanding your financial reality. They'll say you should just break up with them without knowing the complexities of your relationship. This barrage of often conflicting and ill-informed advice can leave you more confused and paralyzed than you were before. You end up second-guessing your own intuition, which is the one voice you should be listening to the most. And let's not forget the darker side of sharing. Not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. Some people, consciously or not, feed on drama and negativity. These are the gossip mongers. When you share your vulnerability with them, you're not giving them a problem. You're giving them a story, a juicy piece of information they can share with others. Your personal struggle becomes office chatter or the topic of a group text. You've not only failed to solve your problem, but you've also handed over your personal story to be twisted and judged by people you barely know. You've given them ammunition they can use against you later, painting you as a complainer, as unstable, or as incompetent. It's a harsh reality, but it happens every single day. So, if you're not supposed to talk about your problems, what are you supposed to do? Let them fester inside until you explode? Absolutely not. The answer isn't to suppress your feelings, but to channel them productively. First, learn to self-soothe and self-reflect. When you feel that urge to vent, pause. Take a deep breath. Instead of reaching for your phone, reach for a journal. Write it all down. Get it all out, uncensored. The act of writing forces you to organize your thoughts. It helps you separate emotion from fact. As you write, you'll often find that the problem isn't as monstrous as it felt in your head. You can start to see patterns, identify the core issue, and even brainstorm potential solutions on your own. This is not venting, this is processing. You are taking control of the narrative, not giving it away. Second, shift your focus from the problem to the solution. Instead of telling people, "I have this huge problem," change your internal and external language. Spend your time thinking, "Okay, here is the situation. What are my options? What is the very next, small, actionable step I can take?" If you must talk to someone, don't just dump the problem on them. Frame it differently. Say something like, "Hey, I'm working through a challenge and I'm brainstorming some solutions. I'm thinking about doing A or B. What are your thoughts on those approaches?" See the difference? You're no longer a victim seeking sympathy. You are a proactive problem solver seeking a second opinion on a strategy. You maintain your power. You're leading the conversation towards a positive outcome. Third, be incredibly selective about your confidants. Build a small, private board of directors for your life. This shouldn't be more than 1 or 2 people. These are individuals who have proven their loyalty and wisdom over years. They don't just tell you what you want to hear, they tell you the truth, even when it's hard. They are solution-oriented, and they genuinely celebrate your successes and support you through your failures without judgment. These are the people you can be truly vulnerable with because the trust is absolute. For everyone else, maintain a friendly but firm boundary. Your personal life is your private business. Embracing this mindset is a journey. At first, it might feel lonely. You'll have to break the habit of seeking instant validation through complaining. But soon, you'll notice a profound shift. You'll feel more resilient, more capable, more in control of your own life. You'll stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as the architect of your destiny. Your problems will stop being overwhelming dramas and start becoming what they truly are: challenges to be met, puzzles to be solved. You'll find that the best person to solve your problems is, and always has been, you. Your own strength, your own intuition, and your own resourcefulness are your greatest assets. Guard them fiercely. Don't give them away for a fleeting moment of sympathy. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content on building a stronger, more empowered life. I'll see you in the next one.